Why?
I don't know.
Why do we do this?
Hey, Tom, you know what we
Trey.
see here? Unlike you guys, I see winners. We won last week, baby.
We
I
did.
see losers everywhere.
That's
just pure losers.
just a bunch of winners hanging around. There's a bunch of
You
cool
know,
winners.
right? You know.
And then everybody else.
Yeah.
I feel like this should up, and there's that.
Yeah.
Brandon,
What the hell's going on here?
It's clickbait, Brandon.
We need to talk.
What the hell's going on here?
Hey, buddy, this is an intervention.
What the hell does that mean? Is this your idea, Tom? Is this your idea?
Buddy, I don't care that much about you.
Brandon, we love you and care about you as a friend and as a fellow content creator. It is for this reason that we are holding this intervention so that you may come to the light. Before Russ, you actually believed in Drew Lock. Then Russ came. Then it was the coach's fault. Then you got Sean Payton, and you guys are still 0-3. Despite your recent YouTube videos doing well, it is not worth your mental health to continue supporting this team. Please come to the light. You are always welcome to join the Dallas Cowboys fandom, seeing as you are an American citizen. You have a wife and child to think about. We only want the best for you.
That was good. Brandon, I saw you post a video about Russell Wilson coming to the Broncos, and you said you had a football boner. But then the season started, and I found you with your head in the toilet. Your hair was the same color as the toilet water. Disgusting.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. Brandon, you've been riding for way too long. It's time to get off. You dreamed of Lombardi, but like Vance Joseph, you are no longer having the time of your life. This addiction to failure is killing everyone around you, and we can no longer support your fetish for humiliation. There will be no salvation. Like your defense, your justifications are full of holes and give up every play. This is your final warning. And further humiliation to the Bears means we will have to cut you off. We will not be going to Disneyland, and we will not be extending Sean Payton. You will be stuck dealing with his dead cap. To close, I wrote a poem in protest of your philandering. Roses are red, violets are blue. The Broncos gave up 70 points. Fuck you.
I was told to prepare 4 to 5 sentences.
Yes.
For you,
Yes.
So I'm going to read that for you now. Dear Brandon, I was told to write 4 to 5 sentences about you. That was 1 sentence. Now there are 2 sentences. Now there are 3 sentences. If you see sentences just happening over and over and over again, it's like the Dolphins scoring on your defense. In addition, you grew a lot on YouTube with your nice video that hit 1 million views. That's good. But the Broncos are bad. And they smell like poop. I also didn't write anything on this paper.
Brandon, are you paying attention?
That's just confusing. Can I do I get to defend myself for a second?
Oh, sorry.
Can I
Don't do
defend
heroin.
myself?
Don't.
We
do
don't
heroin.
listen. We don't listen to addicts because the reason, as I said, your justifications are full of holes and give up like your defense. We mentioned
Cleveland
this.
Browns playoffs. Tim Tebow playoff. Ben Roethlisberger. Adam, your team's worse than mine. Scooter, the Cowboys. 49ers, the Cowboys, 49ers, Jerry Jones. Tom, your team's owned by fans and Super Bowl 32. Actually, thank you for that.
I'm sorry. We had to cut him off because it's getting bad. It's
It is
just
bad.
it's too much addiction. This is what addiction does to people. It makes them not think rationally. You need to go to rehab, and the only way for rehab is to become a Chiefs fan. I'm sorry.
You're not thinking rationally, Brandon. You have to. We are people that love you, except for Tom. We are people that love you.
I super love you.
Okay, and that care about you, and we see that. Thank you, Trav, by the way. And we see what this. Are you watching highlights, Brandon, during your intervention?
It's not from the Broncos game. I can tell you.
What
that.
are you watching? What are you watching?
Not from the Broncos.
No,
Brandon,
no.
show us what you're watching.
What game are you watching, dude? Are
Broncos Jags 1996.
96 Broncos Jags 96? Dude,
My
you have
gosh.
better dignity
That
watching
has-
Raheem
I'll be right
Moore over and over again. Come on.
Raheem
My
Mostert.
gosh.
Good.
But ladies and gentlemen, as you saw, we were trying to stage an intervention for our friend Brandon. He might not be the only team up here that needs an intervention, though. This is Clickbait Sports. We're going to get into everything. And you know what? What better way than to start with my team that was supposed to win easily
It's gonna
over
end
the
different this
Cardinals.
Well,
Let's just start here. Pile it on. What do you have to say to me after last week? Let me hear it. Let me hear your worst, because I've already heard it online.
Your team looked worse than your microphone sounds right now.
Yeah, your
Okay,
microphone
that's
sounds very echoey. But
I think you're
listen,
talking into your webcam mic,
yeah,
just like you thought you had a capable defense.
just like Brandon's false hope of being-
Dallas Cowboys and Joseph McCarthy have one thing in common. They both get irrationally afraid of red scares.
Does it sound better or worse?
No,
I don't
worse,
know.
because you can't
I
do
don't know.
just like you go into a communist meeting. It's the same thing. You're both afraid of the red zone.
Say
sorry.
Cowboys going Super Bowl.
Joseph McCarthy or Mike McCarthy.
Both, yes.
Mike is also muted now, Scooter.
Now he's muted. Can't talk. Here, someone unmute him.
I thought I didn't know.
Well, now that he's muted, I just want to say on behalf of Giants
Oh my
Nation,
God.
we want to thank
Lord.
you for losing to the Cardinals, because come last Thursday, a week ago, I was down in the dumps. We got our doors blown off by the 49ers. And I was thinking, man, we're a bad team. We barely beat the losing Cardinals. And now we just got outclassed by a good team. But now I feel much better about my team. We beat the team that beat you. Okay. Like, we came back on the team that put your team away in the second half. Like, did not let their foot off the gas. I thought that they were tanking. I thought that they were just going to give up and lay down. Apparently, they didn't get the memo. And Dak looked like butt cheeks. That's all I
So,
gotta say.
first of all, did you even watch the game?
I watched the whole
Yes,
game.
we watched the game. There were only 3 games at the time, and one of them was just the
Okay.
Taylor Swift show accompanied by the Chicago Bears getting the
All
shit
you
kicked
got
out of
out of that was Dak sucks. We were not watching the same game. Dak threw
It's
one
not
late
Dak. It's your red
interception.
zone offense, dude.
Okay,
It's
so
puke.
that's different than Dak sucking. A.
It's
2,
partially Dak
we
sucking.
beat the Giants 40-0. Please don't ever talk about the Cowboys for the remainder of this season, because you couldn't score a single point against us, period, point blank. 3, if we would have scored touchdowns in the red zone, we easily win that game.
I don't.
But you didn't.
Point
I don't
number
buy
That's
that.
what the issue is.
Can I
Here's
please
the
just
thing.
respond
Okay.
before
Yes,
you respond?
you may.
Point
Okay,
number
Stephen.
4, we literally did not have 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen playing, plus our center was out. 3 out of our 5 linemen were out. That has nothing to do with the defense. I don't know what was going on the defensive front.
No,
But
Trevor.
offensively, it was a trap game. They ran all over us. It happens sometimes, any given Sunday. We'll know a lot more about this Cowboys team, especially against the Patriots and especially against the 49ers. What I do know, though, is that the Giants suck and they're 1-2 and they're last in the NFC East. That is what I know for a fact.
Okay, I would like to respond. Well, Brandon, yes, you can
Dude,
talk.
even the commies beat Arizona. Let's be real, dude.
Mhm.
Come on.
Any given Sunday.
You know, my
Uh-huh.
only problem with the Cowboys' loss, Scooter, is it was against the Arizona Cardinals, who last season had Vance Joseph as their defensive coordinator. He is now my defensive coordinator again. Ipso facto, your Cowboys made Vance Joseph and my team look even worse by letting the Cardinals be the first team to beat them this year. That's what grinds my nuts, Scooter.
Yes, I just want to say one thing. If you cannot score in the red zone, that's not an excuse, right? If you move the ball between the Trav, you're killing me. If you move the ball between the 20s and you don't score, that's a deficiency. It doesn't matter when it happens. It doesn't matter when it happens on your own 20 or in the red zone. You suck. You suck. Okay. And that's a problem.
Let me ask you just something to respond to that. What is worse than not being able to score in the red zone? Scoring 0 points or not being able to score in the red zone? Which one is worse, in your opinion?
Giving up 70 points.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Listen, despite the Cowboys losing this week, I still do think the Dallas Cowboys are in the upper echelon of teams, and we'll have a chance to prove that in the coming weeks. Tom, what do you have to say about the Cowboys game? What did you get from that game?
I think Dak throwing that interception is going to be overblown and is not going to help his case with the media and everyone who hates Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. 1. 2, I was surprised on like how well like James Conner and even Josh Dobbs at time was able to run against your defense. That was, I think, the most surprising thing, because if there was anything, I was like, oh, you guys are going to be able to stop the run. Like, that's fine. I think, honestly, you guys the Cardinals are a chippy football team, and like they are coming out to play like every time, maybe not the second half of the Giants game, but I mean, it's not a great look. I thought they would wait until the 49ers to lose their first game, but I mean, it's the NFC. I think they'll still be fine. It's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
But
you know what? A lot of teams that are great have had very bad looks this year. The Bills losing to the Jets, that's not a good look. The Chiefs losing early, not a good look. So, look, we'll bounce back. We will bounce back. Maybe Josh Dobbs is better than we thought he was.
Remember,
he's a great year so far.
Dobbs was added late to that roster. And he was, Colt McCoy?
Colt McCoy, and it was going to be
supposed to be the starter. And then Dobbs just
Tune.
Yeah. And Clayton Tune, like Dobbs just came in and outplayed them both. So he's still learning the Arizona playbook. So the Giants honestly might have gotten lucky. Yeah, the Giants might have honestly gotten lucky.
I will say this: Stephon Gilmore is not a CB1. He got torched already. It did not look good.
They
Who's
caught
he
like
covering?
2 passes
Rondale
on him.
Moore? Is that who burned him?
They caught like 2 passes on him.
Too big
Hollywood
passes.
Brown.
We got
How significant is the Diggs injury then? He was pretty sure I saw a thing in coverage.
He was literally the
number one
graded
corner right now this season, right?
Against coverage. He was going to have
He was having a good year.
Yeah.
He's going to be missed, but I think what we're seeing also, especially on the defensive side, is some of our guys who were injured came back and played for the first time that game. Our safeties came back. One of our safeties came back and played for the first time. This was his preseason game, essentially. He was getting bodied. Do I need to go get my dog? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know. The dog wanted a special guest. I got to put him front and center, man. Everybody loves the pupper.
That's fair. But enough about the Cowboys. Let's move on to some other games. Who did the Giants play this past week?
I don't remember, honestly. I don't. That was so long ago. I don't know
the
what
Niners,
happened.
Thursday Night Football, TNF.
Oh,
Yeah, you did a live stream where you were completely apathetic.
I don't remember any
you were
of
one
that.
step away from vacuuming the floor again.
I was about to vacuum.
Let me guys ask you
Because
something.
I need
Did
to.
the 49ers look like a top team against a Saquon-less Giants?
Yeah.
The Giants at least scored 10 points, which was 10 more than they did against the Cowboys. And the Niners have a good defense. There was never any time where the Giants were actually in the game. So it was hard.
It was
to watch.
3-3 at one point.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It was like a dam breaking. Eventually it folded. But yeah, I just kind of knew. When we talked to EJ last week, who was our guest panelist, EJ Snyder, he really kind of broke down that what the Giants' tactics would be were not going to work against the Niners, and he was absolutely right. And yes, come second half, they couldn't really move the ball, and it was frightening. But we got Seattle on Monday night. Maybe we can bury that football and start all over again.
And Seattle is an inconsistent team. It mostly depends on if Saquon plays. If Saquon plays, you've got a decent chance.
I don't think he'll be back.
Question is, can you stop K9 and can you stop DK? Those are your two questions about the Seattle offense. They are down both their tackles. Abraham Cross is on IR, or Charles Cross is on injured, and then Abe Lucas is on IR too. So
the Giants are still banged up, so we'll see. But at least now with the Thursday game, they actually have 10 days in between games, so they might cover. That might be a good cover for anyone that wants to take that action.
Something the Broncos couldn't do yesterday.
If y'all lose this game, is your season over?
1-3 is not a good look, obviously, but if we can get square to 2-2, yeah, then you start thinking playoffs again. But 1-3, I mean, the odds probably go down really, really low to make the season. I know who's not going to make the playoffs this year.
Hey, whoa.
Do we just go
I think both
to,
of them that are pointed to me. I don't think either of them make the playoffs.
Whoa.
I do agree
Are the
with that
49ers
statement.
the healthiest team in the NFL right now?
Dude, McCaffrey looks like vintage McCaffrey. He looks like
A monster.
Panther, like second year McCaffrey out there. He's juking people, like he's doing all his stuff. Like he's scary to watch.
I don't know if
You're
they're
another
really super healthy. I know Deebo Samuel's kind of banged up.
His ribs, yeah.
Ayuk
Yeah.
has had like an injury. He was out the previous game. So they are slightly banged up. Greenlaw's also day-to-day as well. But probably, well, that's not as banged up as the Ravens. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I feel like every team is really injured. And I'm trying to think of teams that are actually healthy. 49ers, kind of.
Not mine.
As long as our quarterback's healthy, that's always the
Steelers are
positive
kind
for San
of banged up
Francisco.
too.
Yeah,
So let's
nobody's
just-
healthy.
Let's just address the final loss out of everyone up here. And it was a loss of epic proportion.
Is that what he wanted to cook?
To set the record for most points scored and chose not to. How do you feel about that, Brandon? That they chose not to? Would you have just rather them have done it and witness history?
Yeah. It was Mike McDaniel, Colorado own hero, Mike McDaniel. I mean, I respect that they took a little sympathy on us there at the end.
Sympathy. That's even more insulting.
Sympathy. Uh-huh. Yes, sympathy.
Pity, sympathy, empathy. We're already
Non-point
dead.
version.
They did it all to us.
At what point watching this
the
game?
reason I wanted him to kick the field goal, which would have tied it, I kind of just wanted him to score one more touchdown, actually. So it was clearly the record, and for everybody on earth to know that it was the worst defensive performance in NFL history, because we did a little research for a short, and the 70 points the Broncos gave up were all by their defense. So in all those other 70-point games out there, you had a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown, some means of scoring that wasn't a score allowed by the defense. And the Dolphins never even kicked a field goal. 70 points, that's 10 touchdowns, dude. 10 touchdowns.
At what point?
8 between Devin Achan, formerly Achane, and Raheem, not my freaking dream, Mostert. And then Tyreek Hill and somebody else score. So
Brandon.
When did you
Chosen
know
Anderson.
it was
I know.
gone?
yeah,
Oh,
Chosen
Raheem
Anderson. Mike White throws a bomb to Chosen Anderson when
Hey,
the game
respect Mike White's name, buddy.
My favorite thing about the game was that the 70 points were scored with 8 minutes left in the game. There was still half a quarter to go in the fourth quarter.
Let me ask you guys something, because it didn't really dawn on me during the game because I was in shock. Okay. My mind wasn't right. All right.
Uh-huh.
But we have questions now here in Denver about Sean Payton, about everything. The relationship with Sean and Russ, we hear it's actually pretty good. We know Sean's kind of a dick, but like there's clouds, okay? Sean Payton leaving
Defensive.
Russell Wilson in the game when we're down 60 whatever to 70, 8 minutes left, and you're leaving your starting quarterback out there. Does that register as a red flag for any of you guys? Or is it like, just go out there offense and prove you've got some fight in you? Like, is it not a big deal?
I saw online some people were saying that Russ would have wanted to stay in and get the extra reps.
Doesn't matter what Russ wants. You want a head coach who's going to protect his quarterback, his starting QB. It feels like you have no respect for that man if you just leave him in the game.
What do you guys think?
For me, I think that Russ wanted to be out there. Like, he was angry. Peyton was angry. They wanted to get something back. They wanted to try to claw some dignity back in that game. And yeah, that's why they kept their starters in. But what was more hilarious was that their starters continued to get torched by the backups. Patrick Surtain getting burnt by Robbie Chosen, a guy who was cut mid-year or just. I think the Panthers just got rid of him.
Panthers traded him for like a 6th round pick, and he did nothing in Arizona.
Yeah, and he was on the practice squad beating your best player by a country mile, and then doing the Deshaun Jackson where he runs along the goal line as just a completely insulting thing. Like, I don't know. I guess they were trying to be like, all right, well, if you're gonna, oh yes, it's here. Oh yes, it's
no,
here.
Continue.
Anyways, I'm getting distracted by the glory of this. No, it just seemed like they were trying to claw back, and I don't think Russ wanted to come out. He wanted to try to correct it. So
okay, Tom, you got any
he
thoughts
has a
on that
good
matter?
question. I mean, he is digging a nice hole down there. You could probably join him.
Tom and Tree, question to both of you.
Yes.
If the Giants played the Broncos today, who's winning that game?
Giants. They at least have an offense with Saquon, and their defense can clamp up Russell Wilson pretty easily.
Tom, same question.
With Saquon or without?
Right now,
Doesn't
so he's
matter.
out.
So he's out.
If he's out, that's a different question.
how many points?
Yeah. I think I give like a slight edge to the Broncos if Saquon's out. If Saquon's in,
How does that make you feel, Adam?
Blasphemy.
You turd.
if Saquon's in, then I give it to the Giants.
How many points did the Broncos give up to the Commanders, a team not known for their offense?
That's
35.
even worse. My team was
35.
historically bad.
To
and they're
Sam
like,
Howell.
I think they could beat the Giants, though.
Okay. Oh,
So here's how this stuff gets worse. It was the hardest loss I've ever endured. And then this stupid wrestling belt that cost nearly $700 after taxes arrives this week.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, cool. The Broncos put up
Oh, we gotta put this
70
up.
points. They give away 70 points, and this shows up in my door.
Oh,
You know
that
what
actually
kind
looks
of
nice.
Trainer, I feel like this is
Honestly-
when my team needs me the most. And this is
That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh,
you should
it
defect.
yes. That looks worth the $700. Oh my! Is it like leather? What does it smell like? Put it on.
It's too
Yeah.
heavy. My small frame can't hold it.
If you ever lose clickbait again, you have to do a wrestling promo with that.
I think he already is,
I
right?
like-
Yeah, that's the
can't
point.
I don't. Can't
Oh, is it?
support it.
Oh, come on. You gotta put it. No, you gotta put it up
Yeah.
over your belly, Perna. Like
I
push
get it.
up,
It's a chastity belt.
put it up
Anybody
over your
seen
belly,
this?
and then
Yeah,
you.
well,
and
you're
then you
married,
put
so
Dude,
buttons.
How do I do it, Tom?
So you put it up to your belly. Like put it up to your belly. There you go.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
discount double check.
put the folds in the back to make sure that because it's buttons. So basically, you got to snap them in. So you do
Yes.
it all the way that you can, and you snap in. Start with 2 in the back, like that's closest. There you go, and then just pop, pop, pop.
Why do you know this?
Because I have it. Because I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I even have a championship belt when I was 16. Come on, bruh.
Who did
Come
you
on,
wrestle?
bruh.
Who did you defeat
you-
at age 16?
he beat
Life.
the Ultimate Warrior.
Acne.
Life.
There you go. There you go. It's crooked, but it's close.
Yeah,
It's
it's
close
all
as we're
good.
gonna get.
There
Brandon's
we go.
really embracing the Patrick press.
Can I get a little? Yeah, there we go. Look at
Yep.
that. It's
Oh, yeah,
at
there
the
you go.
maximum
You have to
setting.
button
Oh,
all of them, Perna.
Take off
Oh,
that
please
comment?
do not
Let's see that
twerk.
tushy.
Let's
Watch
see
out,
it.
Travis Kelce. Watch out.
Shake it off.
Well,
There you
it's
go.
delicate.
Yep,
Oh,
there it is.
There it is. Now,
You do it
yes.
this way.
Yes, you could do that too.
Call
And then
Jess to come
it's just
come
going to
down
be
and put it on.
so you have to make sure it's even. The straps are even, Perna.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's not that
That's
bad.
what.
This
Yeah.
has got to be the hardest part of wrestling. Putting on
This-
this stupid belt.
Well,
This
that's why
is
they
what your
come out
money
with it.
buys, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Mhm.
what your money buys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good investment for Brandon, but
Yeah.
it's a nice looking belt.
Chastity belt right there.
Is it solid? Like, is that?
As ready as I'm going to be.
All right.
I mean, it's
Gotta get
$700.
for
It
lower
better
back
be
support.
solid.
This is
All
lumbar
right.
support.
Final thoughts on the worst game you've ever watched in your life, Brandon Perna.
I hope I never have to do it again. And I hope all of you have to experience it once.
We'll see you all in 3 weeks.
I cannot
What-
wait for this.
What is the
weekend.
probability that the Broncos make the playoffs? In your heart, what do
Zero.
you say?
None. Zip. Zilch. None. You can't.
Okay.
You can't be a defense that bad and then
playoff?
turn into a playoff caliber defense. It just won't happen in one season. Here's my fear.
What's your
Another
fear?
question for you guys. We play the Chiefs in like 3 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If the Chiefs are, say, up 50-10, they letting off the gas or they chasing that record to surpass the Dolphins?
It depends if Taylor Swift is in the audience or not. Because Kelsey's like, I want to get 3 more touchdowns.
Yeah, well, you have to remember last week they put out Blaine Gabbert, and the offense went to crap, and that's how Justin Fields got his pity touchdown last week. So they may just be resting guys. Mahomes was a little hobbled up last week, so maybe they just want to rest him up a little bit.
See, you protect your quarterback. That's what you do.
I think
I
they'll,
don't-
they'll wind up
You're allowed
getting
to
a
protect
win.
him.
I don't think they'll go. Oh, like, do you
No,
think that the
I
Bears,
think they beat the Bears. I think they
Yeah,
beat
do you think the Bears or Broncos like, have a legit chance of going 0-17? Like, are we going to see one?
I don't know. They always fluke to like 1 or 2 wins.
That's what I'm
usually,
saying.
so,
Like, I feel like there
Yeah.
is going to be a win that's out there.
yeah.
It might be against the Chiefs. It might be one of those weird games where they just come out and
Never
play,
know.
and they just, because the script writers are like, "Look, we can't keep giving these easy wins to the Chiefs. So let's surprise them somehow."
They had close games last year. So
Speaking of script writers, somehow the Steelers got a win this past weekend. Tree, take us through what happened in that game for those who did not get a chance to watch it. How did y'all end up winning this game?
Well, what actually happened was that the offense managed to move the ball forwards. I always called this game the stoppable force versus the movable object. The Raiders, one of the worst defenses in football. The Steelers' offense was averaging less than 10 points per game. Kenny Pickett had a QBR under 20. It was not good. And then I see the greatest miracle of all time. Kenny Pickett going back in the pocket, throwing a rainbow, deep ball, beating both coverages as Calvin Austin. I'm just sitting there like, we can throw deep? Oh, my God. It's just like the greatest revelation in the world. The Steelers put up 20 points. To be fair, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And Minkah Fitzpatrick had a terrible roughing the passer call against him. But Steelers did end up winning because Josh McDaniels is a complete moron. Are you all familiar with what happened? I know this guy knows all about it, but this guy, 4th and 4, near the goal line. They are pretty much charging towards the end zone. Dude kicks a field goal to go down by 5, trusts his bad defense to make a stop, and they don't. And his response in the press conference is, we have to get the ball back anyway. It's like, wouldn't it be easier to try and score a touchdown, potentially tie or be down by 2, and then kick a field goal to like win the game so you won't have to worry about throwing it deep in a Hail Mary? You ever think of that, Josh?
Yeah, it was like a no-lose situation to go for it there, because if you trust your defense to get you the ball back, don't you also
You're still gonna
trust
get
your
it back.
defense if they've got the opposition backed up towards their own goal line? But what can I say? What can,
You really
not a
can't
good
say
week for me to
it.
try
You
and
cannot
talk trash
comment
on the Raiders.
Right, you cannot comment on defense at all.
No, I can't.
Mark Davis needs to find some emails about Josh McDaniels being a racist and saying some slurs so he can get out of that contract too.
Who is the dumber play caller? Josh McDaniels or dumber decision maker? Josh McDaniels or Brandon Staley?
Ooh.
Who is dumber? And they're in the same freaking division. Like, 2 out of the 4. Like, obviously Peyton is competent he's won a Super Bowl, but McDaniels and Staley, who is worse between those two, especially in crucial decision making?
And they approach it in completely opposite ways, right?
I know.
Staley's an analytics guy, and McDaniels is like, I'm gonna trust my instinct guy.
Mm-hmm. And they get the same results, which is wrong. Big fat X's. Like, I don't
Have a good team.
get it. Trav says McDaniels is worse.
Tom, did you have a chance to watch that Steelers game?
I'm streaming every primetime game again, so the answer is always yes.
He had the misfortune of having to see Steeler football.
What insight did you gain from watching that game, if any?
That Josh McDaniels doesn't know that you can get 8 points in a single drive, because it wasn't just that he did that and it was cowardly. It was after he was like, it would have taken multiple drives, multiple scores to get it done. And it's like,
he had 8 points in the previous drive. That's the funny part.
That's incorrect. So listen, the Steelers offense I've watched it now 2 weeks in a row. It's not fun. It's not a fun.
That Monday Night Football game. Oh, dude,
they have it's so funny because they'll hand it to Najee Harris, who finally got decent yardage at some point, but they'll run into a wall for 4 drives straight. It'll be incomplete, and then it'll be George Pickens over the middle for 71 yards, or it'll be Calvin Austin for 70 yards. They'll have these random explosive plays, and they'll be like, "There we go." But yeah, if their defense can still, just score points every week, they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine. That's why we go to the Super Bowl. Let's be real.
What happened to Josh Jacobs? What is going on with? He literally was the best running back last year. What has happened?
His offensive line isn't the same as it was, and they're kind of telepathically predicting when he'll play call. He did play Buffalo's defense, so he had 9 rushes for -2 yards, and in this game, he didn't really do much either. The real question is Hunter Renfrow. They were barely targeting that guy.
Yeah.
Are they going to trade him? Devontae Adams is getting pissed too, because they're saying they're not really changing, so he might be gone. Remember, the only reason why he went there was because he had his Derek Carr, and now he's gone. So now you have Jimmy Jesus. He has a concussion. He might not play. So you're either Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell.
Brian Hoyer?
So that was asked about this, and again, I'm not going to speak on things that I don't know, but I looked at his Twitter, and for 5, I don't know if he kept going for 5 hours straight. Chandler Jones was tweeting out some pretty disturbing and concerning things.
It's
not good.
It's Everson Griffin on steroids. You remember when he had that weird situation a couple years ago? It's like that. And
I don't even know.
I don't even want to even try and speculate.
Yeah, no, it's just not good.
Could the Raiders be massive sellers at the trade deadline, just getting rid of?
Honestly, they could.
Parts?
Yeah.
Could the Broncos also be massive sellers?
What do the Broncos have to sell?
That's what I'm saying.
Not injured. Jerry Jeudy? You got to try and get a first-round pick? No, you're not getting a first for Jeudy.
Would you give us Patrick Surtain for a second-round pick? Brandon?
No, there's no way he's getting that is there's no way that you're hey, the one bright spot on our team, let's get rid of that too. Because when you go to rebuild what is likely going to be next year's season, with who knows if it's going to be with Russ or not, you want those guys on the team, on the squad. It's a cheap.
Give us Patrick Surtain right now.
No.
We need him.
No.
I mean, they would give you Surtain for Micah Parsons. I bet they'd do that trade.
Is Surtain worth a first-round pick?
I think so.
Okay.
You have 2 more years of coverage.
But I don't know if a team's going to give a first-rounder for a corner. Every year, what teams are willing to give for certain position groups, I feel just changes.
San Francisco.
2 years ago, wide receivers, they're catching first-rounders left and right. This last offseason, they're no thanks.
Well, because the market,
what teams need, how many of those players are going to be free agents. If the Broncos start trading players, I think that the biggest target would be Justin Simmons right now. That's basically what's been talked about in Denver. He's a guy who would have a lot of value to other teams. His contract's not crazy. They would be willing to deal a safety. So it'd probably start there. Other than that, maybe Cortland Sutton. I don't know.
I think the most interesting thing about the Broncos this season is I think a lot of people expected that if the Broncos sucked, it was going to be because of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson has not been the issue for
He's
3
been
weeks.
good. Like,
And
he's
so
top 10.
That's the wrinkle.
So that's what's interesting. Like, what happens if, let's just say they win 5 games, right? Let's say the Broncos win 5 games, and then you're sitting there and it's draft time and you could draft a quarterback. Well, Russell's playing decently, but now like there's concerns about Sean Payton, who again responds like right to the owner. I think like that's the weird thing going forward. It's like, even if Russ plays well, if they don't win games, are they can still move on from him?
And the problem is they can't, because in 2024 his dead cap's $85 million. Year after in 2025 it's 50. They're stuck until at least 2026 with a $31 million dead cap. That's it. It's all dead cap. It's that extension they signed him to right before last year. If you didn't do that, you'd be able to walk free. But you sign him up, you double down, and you're done.
No, I was just going to say Russ Wilson's contract extension doesn't even go into place until next year. Like, so this was the year that you would have enough wiggle room to actually add parts and win games. Next year, your salary cap is getting eaten up by Russell Wilson. You were thinking you would have position players and studs in there, but no, now it's the quarterback fallacy of when you have to pay a quarterback, you're going to lose parts everywhere else. And that's why I could see the Broncos being massive dumpers.
How has Randy Gregory been for you guys? It's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Moving on to the last game that was played of our 5 fandoms up here, we have a surprising win from the Green Bay Packers. This game came down to the wire. I was watching this game hoping that the Saints pulled it off. They did not. Tom, take us through what happened in your game for those who might not have seen this game.
All right, listen. We were bad for 3 quarters.
Terrible.
The Saints
very bad.
were pretty darn good for 3 quarters.
17.
And then they were bad for 1 quarter. And
really bad.
We were good for 1 quarter.
So like the polar opposite of Atlanta.
That's legitimately what happened. It's really interesting because the Packers, someone else do super chat duties. So it's really interesting because Jordan Love was struggling to move the football. There was receivers that were dropping passes. He definitely missed some guys. He threw a bad interception, threw into like triple coverage one time. It really wasn't beautiful. But the defense, even before Carr went down, they allowed 10 points because obviously there was the special teams return for the punt return for a touchdown. And the defense started getting after him. Then Carr goes out. And I'm like, okay, well, they're up 17 points. They're just going to run the ball. And they just stopped running the ball. So the Saints, they were throwing incomplete passes. Jameis Winston didn't turn the ball over or anything, but they were throwing incomplete passes. They didn't run the ball. So they kept giving it back to the Packers, whose offense was then on the field for a while. The Saints defense got tired. And Jordan Love, he did really well in that 4th quarter. He still missed some stuff, but dude, he was making some clutch throws. And for me, I'm just going week by week. And last week, even though it was an ugly start, I was super happy watching it. It was his debut at Lambeau. I mean, dude had a rushing touchdown and a throwing touchdown. I have a come from behind victory, 18 unanswered points. Yeah, it was great.
You seeing this quote by Yolo Swaggins? Tyreek ran the wrong route and he still scored.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw that too.
Brandon.
Tom, do you think Jordan Love's kind of like a player who needs a little bit of pressure on him during the game for him to play better?
I don't think it's pressure. I think it's more that offense usually starts pretty slow. And he usually takes a little while to get him going. You also have to look at it too. The Packers walking into that game were decimated with injuries. No Aaron Jones, no Jair Alexander, no Dave Bakhtiari, who just went on IR today, which sucks. No Elton Jenkins as well. So the whole left side of the offensive line is out. They have no run game besides Aaron Jones. And it's, again, against a good defense. Then Devondre Campbell gets injured in the middle of that game. Then Valentine gets injured in that game. So the Packers were it was an uphill battle. And then, like heading into tonight, they're getting Aaron Jones back, which is really, really good. Christian Watson's going to play for the first time this season. So I'm excited to see him. But yeah, I mean, the Packers are a resilient football team right now. They're running different plays that, LaFleur didn't call under Rodgers, which is really interesting. And everyone's talking about completion percentage now with Jordan Love. As long as I'm seeing improvement and like I've seen a bunch of flashes now, the kid looks good. So like I'm super happy with the way he's playing, and there's going to be growing pains 100%. And I'm pretty sure that the Packers front office did not expect playoffs this year. So if we're able to have like a winning season or maybe even sneak into the wild card because the NFC is not great, we vibe it.
Oh, there it is.
Well, let's
there
get that
it
for
is.
Cole.
Yeah.
That's for
Cole wanted it. Yep. Screenshot it, Cole. Screenshot it. It's up to his chest like how he wears his trousers. Ooh, take it off. Let it slide down.
Save it for the OnlyFans.
I think Brandon would have been a stripper in another life.
Honestly, he does it for free.
Views
He
going
couldn't-
up,
Oh.
or they going down, fellas?
Did anyone else have any insight to add to that Packers-Saints game? My
Yeah.
only question would be to Tom, was it the Packers winning that game or was it the Saints losing that game in the fourth quarter? Or maybe a combination of both? What do you
I think if Carr doesn't get hurt, they win that game. So Jameis
So
is bad.
Carr and Jameis Winston had like almost identical stats.
Stats don't mean anything.
But the problem is they neglected the running game, and Jameis
Carr-
Winston was kind of missing some throws here.
The offense completely crapped the bed because the play calling was just not good. And then their defense got exhausted. And so like Jordan Love, like he beat the Saints defense in the fourth quarter, 100%.
Hold
Their
on.
offense though did not do them any
but the
favors.
thing
A
is,
Joe
like-
Woods defense collapsing? Oh my God, I'm so shocked.
A veteran like Carr would have been able to get up to the line and make smarter decisions. Than
Who's Jameis Winston? What do you mean a veteran? He literally started for them
Jameis-
last year.
And what did he do? He did. They were bad last year. Like this.
He
I
got
think
benched
Carr.
for Red
I thought
Rock.
at least Carr would have lent some competency.
Carr
This
is better.
last-
Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay,
Carr
here's
is
the
better
thing.
and
I looked at that
changes the
game. Yeah, they had 4 drives in the fourth quarter, totaling 17 total plays. Like they were awful.
Run
like-
the football. That's play calling, baby. Run the football.
I don't know.
You expect them
Again,
to do something intelligent.
I don't know. I
Remember,
thought Carr. if
no
he was
Jamal
in there, they
Williams
still
and no
would've won.
Kamara. That's probably why.
They had a 17-point fourth quarter lead. The Packers didn't even score until 11 minutes left in the game. Like you've got to make that work. You've got to
Correct.
hold that lead.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
That's
You
bad.
know
coaching.
what, though? We're going to stay on the Packers, though, because they are this Thursday night
Hold on,
football
wait.
game. Oh,
Wait,
go ahead, finish up.
before we preview that game, I want to preview Broncos Bears.
Tank Bowl.
So
Let's
We're
go.
previewing the Tank Bowl.
This might be the earliest tank bowl that has ever. I've never seen two 0-3 teams match up, and you just know one of these teams is going to vie for the number 1 overall.
And it's
pick.
going to happen twice. Vikings, Carolina's playing, and they're both 0-3 too.
Yeah, but I don't really see them as contenders. for the
Carolina would
maybe
be.
Carolina because Bryce Young is just so bad. The Vikings will somehow Kirk
bad.
Cousins their way
Carolina's
to
terrible.
6 to 7.
Do you think
wins?
the Bears take a quarterback if they suck
Yes.
the whole season?
Yes. Yes.
You think
They
they
have
give
2
up on
first-round
Fields?
picks. Well,
It's
I mean,
easy to
Fields has
move
not
on
been
from a
good.
rookie.
That's the problem.
Yeah, they have
Like
no
they were expecting that year
commitment.
3 jump, and like
They
he's
need
been
to clean
robotic.
house.
You
They
remember
need
Josh
to.
Rosen?
They're going to nuke it. Like
Clean
I don't know if there's a
house.
single Bears player that survives.
It like legit clean house, but that's coaching gone. I mean, like burn
Ownership
it to the ground. And again, I still don't believe in the Bears because your ownership is still in place. Like legitimately, like I do not right now. There is no evidence in the past, however many years we want to go back, that the Bears can develop quarterbacks.
Nope.
They can't. They cannot develop quarterbacks. And that's with different coaches. That's with different GMs. The only thing that's been a consistent there, like a constant, has been the ownership. So I don't know how involved that they are. But the issue is like they're not hiring the right people. And it's showing because it's not just Justin Fields. Like Fields is not playing well. Don't get me wrong. But good God, that offensive play calling is an abomination. And it looks like nobody's trying.
It's not just the play
With
calling,
that-
it's the O-line play, it's the
Yes,
receiver play. Like, even like Devin White's coming out and saying they're not using DJ Moore properly. It's week 2.
Week 2.
Chase Claypool is just
They
as
haven't got-
apathetic and useless as he was in Pittsburgh.
With
They
that
haven't
being
got
said,
Fields'
he's
weapon.
there.
Yeah.
with that being said, what
got
will
him
you
weapons,
do
but unfortunately,
if
didn't get him any
the
holsters.
Bears beat the Broncos? What will you do if the Bears beat the Broncos? Brandon Perna, what will you do?
I say thank you. Thank you to the football god, Scooter, because now if we lose to the Bears, we're officially on the Caleb Williams path. And the only thing that can stop us is ourselves. And he is a prize worth tanking for, according to people who know more about college football than me. Here's the tricky thing though with Chicago. They have Carolina's first round draft pick. So
Yep.
Chicago doesn't even have to finish last. They've got the Panthers who could. So the Broncos really have to have the worst record because they got to have that one spot because the Bears, they're going to be itching to get there with Carolina on their side. So give me Caleb Williams.
Like the Bears might have 2 like top 5 picks.
Yeah.
They could have 2 of the top 3 picks
Yeah.
at this rate. Can Caleb Williams play defense? I hope so. Because we need that too.
If you have 2
Can he
of the
score
top
71
3,
points? Man,
you
we got
have-
a team. We got a team.
if you're the Bears and you have 2 of the top 3 picks, like you're
Mm.
taking what? You're taking a quarterback for sure, right?
Oh,
Like,
Caleb
they- what
Williams
if they
and
took-
Marvin Harrison
what
Jr. That's
what
Yeah,
if
what
they
Drake
take-
May, Marvin Harrison. Boom, boom.
What if the Bears take 2 quarterbacks? Just like
That's
all right.
exactly
That's
what
actually
I just
smart.
said in my
Caleb
my-
Williams and Drake May.
They take them both and they make them fight to the death in training camp.
Okay,
Metaphor.
now let's actually preview a game worth watching. It's
Okay.
getting played tonight. Packers-Lions. Now, we do know, like Tom already said, Bakhtiari is out. That's going to be a huge damper for the Packers offense. What are we thinking for this game, though? Are the Lions a formidable foe?
Yes. I don't know if you're asking me or everyone else.
Just he's asking
The
for-
ether.
Yeah, no, I think 100%. I think this is going to be a really close game. The Lions are battling some injuries, but it looks like they're going to have a chunk of their O-line back. But yeah, no, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, listen, the Lions defense, like they stopped Bijan, like they kicked the Falcons' ass last week, and we lost to the Falcons because we let them run all over us. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a really challenging game. I'm really excited for Aaron Jones, but I don't know how much they're going to utilize him. 1 and 2, going up against that defense, it's tough to run the ball. So it's going to be a tough game. I'm hoping that we're able to pull it out, but I'm expecting it to be a nail biter.
Why did they let the Eagles sign DeAndre Swift? What is wrong with the Lions? Like, that's what I want to know. Because now we have to deal with it.
Swift never played. He was run out of the thing. They signed Jahmyr
he wasn't
Gibbs,
healthy.
They
They
brought
weren't
in David
utilizing him
Montgomery,
well.
and they fell out of their plans. Jamal Williams, too.
And
I
there's
know.
still a little bit of Lions residual leftovers there. They're trying to get rid of all of the old Lions stuff. So they're not gonna make every right decision.
That's fair. That is fair. What are you guys thinking, though, for the game? Brandon,
Uh,
35?
Go ahead, Brandon.
I think the Lions are gonna win. I think it'll be close. Sorry, Tom. Like 23-20 or 2017, one of those type of games.
Wow.
And it if the Packers were healthy, at home short week, traditionally I go, Green Bay. But yeah.
Yeah, I will say this. They're probably going to charge in the middle of the fourth quarter. They get down to the goal line, 3rd and goal, 1 second left, intercepted by Brian Branch.
No, shut up,
Lions
Tree.
win.
No, Tree.
Hey. I know
No.
how to trigger
Hey.
the buttons, dude.
No.
If Tree
No.
predicts that for a branch, it's got to happen, Tom.
Yeah,
it has
dude.
got to happen.
Exactly.
Look at the
Branch still
trauma.
fall far from the tree, dude.
It's
Right.
good. That
No,
was
I
good.
don't.
That was really good. I just
Tree knows
bought.
Branch.
I just bought the Lions at minus 2.5. If y'all want to ride with me, that's fine. Which I'd probably just jinxed them. So Packers win by 7. Sorry. I
That's
can't have
very
nice
confusing.
things.
I'm gonna go with the Lions just because the Packers are very injured, and I feel like they're way more injured than the Lions are injured, and I think this Bakhtiari thing is going to hurt them severely. So I got the Lions for this one.
All right.
But we could go.
So
to the
everybody's picking the
countdown.
Lions.
Yes. Are we ready to count it
I
down?
say the Ryans. Yeah. I mean, we've
The
turned Tom
Ryans.
from a happy man into a salty man. Who suffered more today, Brandon or Brandon? And maybe a touchdown.
I think the Dolphins just
I
scored
suck.
again.
Yeah. Honestly, at this rate, Brandon's going to be swimming with the fishes.
Someone else do the countdown. I'll pick against the Packers. It's fine. We'll sit here in silence.
Branch, let's do it.
I'll do it.
2019 64. Oh,
Branch is going to run big 6 more.
fart noises.
I'm sorry, audience. I should have just done it. I'm sorry. That's
Should have done the countdown. Oh, yeah.
Let's stop. Let's never do that again.
We're just
All
like
right, so I'll
Solomon
never
again.
not do that again.
Please.
Yeah, I think we all did it once and it just got.
Oh, he ain't trying to freaking ruin it.
There you go.
Give it to him.
I got
I'm-
46-97. 46-97.
Lucky.
Yep. I got 202-11, which I know did
One-
not lose.
174-75. I did not lose, so you know what? I'm a happy man.
All right,
Brandon
Adam.
versus 5. What we got?
I
What do you got,
got
Brandon.
368.
No. Five got like $500 donated.
Yeah.
Oh yes!
Oh, dude. He is so upset.
Yes! I'm alive.
Oh, no. 5. You actually have to win for once.
578-96.
Oh,
You.
oh.
There you go. I was expecting a nice Perna punishment, but that's going to have to wait.
All right. So I guess I need to get punished. What do you guys want to do to me?
Has 5 dressed up like a blue man yet?
Oh,
Has he done that?
I don't
I've
think
not
so.
done the Blue Man
I
group.
don't think so.
Or
He's
that,
got
that
to
was just
do.
me
He's got to
remembering
do
an episode.
David Cross from Arrested Development doing Blue Man Group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. I
All right.
Remember nude shorts in the blue paint.
Okay.
Mhm.
So wait, let me look this up. David Cross.
Oh, you ever see Arrested Development? It's
Arrested
hilarious.
Development's great. First
Yeah,
three
honestly, I want you to recreate the part where Henry Winkler accidentally runs him over with the car. What the
Okay,
hell?
so someone's gonna paint me blue, and then I have to do this. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll do the Blue Man group, and I guess I have to do this
make him paint
skit.
himself.
Do I have to make it a movie, or do I have to do it live?
Live.
No, you got to come in
Oh.
blue with girl shorts on.
It's
Girl
jorts.
shorts
Cut
Yeah,
off
jorts.
the shorts. Yeah.
Oh,
Cut off
jorts.
Uh,
Okay, I will watch this clip and then I will recreate it. Fair enough.
I think that's a
You
fair
guys
punishment.
suck.
Pardo, what do you got coming out, buddy?
I did a tank video preview for the 4 games, but go check out my wife, Jess Brain. She dropped a BTS of the last month of my miserable football life. So
Yeah, you can actually see how much space he has behind there. It's not
Not
that much space.
Not much,
It's
dude.
not that much. I got the pregame coming out, the pregame press conferences, Cowboys, Florida Gators. Gators taking on Kentucky this week. Let's go Gators.
I have the. Oh, go ahead.
Never mind.
Go ahead, you're good. Go.
No, I have the largest dead cap hits in NFL history coming out. The 5 largest. You guys will not know who the number 1 is.
I will say I do have Pirates Reds greatest game that should be out later tonight or early tomorrow, and then MLB postseason haters guide early next week, followed by
Baseball
sports.
content.
I'm actually able to do baseball content barely, but it's football decided to be chaotic, so that's how we roll.
There you go.
Tom
I'll be
streaming
Tom,
the game.
Tom
8
has some
p.m.
reaction. What?
8 p.m. I'll be streaming, then a reaction, then a post game. Let's
There
go.
we go.
I'm looking forward to the Brian Branch Salt, sir.
Let's go.
Get ready.
Let's go.
Imagine if it actually happened.
Brian Branch interception to win the game.
Okay.
This has been
Yell
Clickbait
it into
Sports.
existence.
We will see
Bye.
you guys next week.